The SEC is kind of playing offense and attacking the whole industry. This is not a healthy way to regulate an industry. Regulation through enforcement, as opposed to what we're seeing in other countries where they're doing the work, right? They're codifying, they're creating a framework that allows an industry to grow while protecting consumers. And I think that's really what the U.S. is lagging.
What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Let's kick it off. I hope everybody's having an awesome day, and huge thank you to all that hit the like button. So first up, we're on polysign.io, building the future of digital assets. This is secure infrastructure for financial institutions to fully leverage their digital assets. As we scroll down, we can see some of the members of the team, including Jack McDonald, inducted into the Global Custodians Legends of Industry. We have David Schwartz of Ripple. We have Arthur Brito, also the co-founder of the XRP ledger, who's the president. We have Antoinette, who is the Chief Compliance Officer. She was previously also the CCO at Ripple Labs, and she's also spoken at the International Monetary Fund, and we can see 15 years in traditional banking. And most importantly, we have the Vice Chairman Tim Keeney, retired Vice Chairman of BNY Mellon. So the retired Vice Chairman of BNY Mellon, Bank of New York, one of the largest banks in the world, is now the Vice Chairman on Polysign, custodying 25% of global institutional assets. Now, I shared this a while back. We have Bank of New York, 42 trillion assets under custody and 1.8 trillion AUM. And this is a list of the world's largest banks, custodians, and other major players creating crypto trading desks and custody platforms. As we can see, trillions, 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 and trillions. Bank of New York launches new digital asset custody platform, starting a crypto custody service. The custodial lender back in fall received approval from financial regulators in New York to begin holding Bitcoin and Ether for certain customers. And Bitcoin and Ether would be just the start of other assets in the future. Now, of course, we know all the stats about tokenization of the future of globally illiquid assets, as Swift even estimated that volumes of tokenized assets could reach $24 trillion by 2027. And in terms of tokenization, could reach as high as $16 trillion to as high as $68 trillion. The tokenized market is estimated to be 10% of global GDP by 2030. So we've spoken about Polysign for a long time, and of course they have deep Ripple ties, including the founder and president actually being a co-designer of the XRPL, and of course David Schwartz is also a board member, also another co-designer of the XRP ledger. And now a while back, we have Cowen and Polysign to launch strategic partnership geared toward providing clients access to crypto and digital assets. So Cowen led a $53 million Series B financing with a $25 million strategic investment. We can see blockchain.com was also involved to offer Cowen clients institutional grade security, compliance, initial focus on custody. We're very excited to partner with Jack McDonald, Arthur Brito, the Ghost, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the creators of the XRP ledger, in the Polysign team with the goal of making the market for digital assets accessible to institutional investors. So we talked about the stats of future tokenization, we talked about custody, and all of the largest custodians in the world, including BlackRock, which is $10 trillion assets under management, also chose Coinbase. They are all looking at crypto trading desks. They want to own the picks and shovels. They want to own the infrastructure of this asset class, just like they already do in the stock market and the rest of the securities market. We can see blockchain technology is the future of financial services. So just remember Cowen and Polysign. And then consider Standard Custody and Trust Company, your institutional grade digital asset custody solution. We can see a qualified custodian, fiduciary under New York state banking law, no conflicts of interest, segregated on-chain accounts, safer and more secure than traditional cold storage, with patented blockchain tech, the only custodian with an internal blockchain, cryptographic keys without the human touch. So unlike traditional cold storage, Standard Custody requires no manual operations to handle cryptographic keys, eliminating the risk of employee malfeasance or mistakes. Now, why am I talking about Standard Custody, Polysign, and Cowen? Well, check this out, shared by Real Lisa Daily. We can see TD completed its acquisition of Cowen Inc. Cowen Inc. is a partner of Polysign Standard Custody. And just for a little perspective, we can see TD right here, $1.9 trillion in assets under management, almost $2 trillion. And with this partnership to accelerate the growth of TD Securities. Now, we just talked about the stats, and Swift predicting in the coming years that volumes could reach $24 trillion. And of course, TD Securities understands that tokenization is coming. It is not if, it is just when. And they definitely want to prepare and partner with a variety of organizations or even acquire them. And yes, I do believe that Polysign along with Standard Custody will be a lot bigger than we think. Do not underestimate the network of a retired vice chairman of the Bank of New York. one of the largest banks in the world. Side by side, Arthur Brito and David Schwartz, two guys that just happened to co-design the XRP ledger. So we can see Cowen join the TD Securities family. And this is exciting because Cowen and these groups are regulatory compliant. The project started in 2017, sprang from Ripple X, which supports projects working on the XRP ledger. David and Arthur created both the XRP ledger and PolySign. And when you see PolySign, think poly or multiple, and then sign for signature, so multi-sig. And even Anders pointing out $1.9 trillion under management. So huge thanks for the tag, Lisa. Now I know Gary Gensler is still preaching the same thing over and over, but we can see some good news across the board for the crypto space. We have the HBAR Foundation. We have the former acting comptroller of currency of the United States government. This is Brian Brooks, and he also served as the CEO of Binance US for a short period, and also the Coinbase CLO. And you can now see that Brian Brooks has updated his bio to say on the board of the HBAR Foundation. This guy's network is amazing, and I think this is a very positive thing for the future of Hedera. During his time at the OCC for the US government, he was the administrator of the federal banking system and the CEO of the federal agency responsible for chartering and supervising banks comprising 70% of all banking activity in the US. So basically the guy that oversaw the entire banking system in the United States. And now he's on the board of the HBAR Foundation. That's a big deal, similar to Rosie Rios, the 43rd US Treasurer on the board of Ripple. So a lot of retail might not be happy with HBAR, XRP, a lot of altcoins price performance during a bear market, but I would not bet against these long term. Also, from Matthew Liny, we have Brooks Entwistle of Ripple revealed that the company is already in dialogue with more than 20 central banks. And we have this group Circular for being named the European Blockchain Startup of the Year at the European Blockchain Convention. And we can see Circular's blockchain ecosystem is built on the XRP ledger that tracks and rewards recycling. Also, from Dr. Martin, head of research over at Uphold, we can see some new listings on the exchange, including Energy Web Token, we have GeoJam, and Sologenic. And next up for Casper Labs, remember 1 year ago we had Brooke Shields and WiseKey, a Casper partner, minted the first ever NFT in space. They did it on the Casper blockchain, so you can see them at NASDAQ last year. And remember WiseKey, and then another company we've spoken about before, which is WiseSat or Wise Satellites. And you can look up WiseKey right there. This is a NASDAQ listed company. So the first ever non-fungible token in space on Casper's blockchain. Now remember, we shared this back in 2022. We have WiseKey and Casper Labs, connecting IoT devices to satellites to track goods on the Casper blockchain. Now instead of just WiseKey, we can see WiseSat.space constellation launched with SpaceX, enabling the direct connection of satellites to IoT devices. WiseKey will soon have so many satellites in orbit that data from IoT devices anywhere on Earth can be saved and protected on blockchain. And notice that data will be stored on the Casper blockchain. There's an estimated 50 billion connected devices worldwide. Using WiseSat's orbiting space satellites, we can securely relay data to the Casper blockchain, where a single source of truth accelerates how business gets done. And remember that WiseSat alongside with Casper actually spoke at the Blockchain Hub in Davos 2 months ago. Next up, shared by Anders, we have Dilip Rao. He was formerly the Global Head Infrastructure Innovation and Managing Director for the Asian Pacific and the Middle East Northern Africa region at Ripple. And now we can see an Australia CBDC research project with the Reserve Bank of Australia. And this release was just a couple days ago. And we can see Dilip Rao, Program Director, including some that involve the use of CBDC for atomic settlement of transactions in tokenized assets. We're seeing a common theme of tokenization. And think of DLT in the crypto asset class as the bedrock to all of this. Taking a look at his LinkedIn, we can see Program Director for the CBDC research. He was also an advisor at FlashFX, and I believe they are still an ODL user today using XRP. And we can see over 5 years at Ripple, leading Ripple's engagement with central banks and financial market infrastructure. And this was a great clip shared by Crypto News Flash, so we can see Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse reacting to the SEC chair. So of course, Brad had some things to say, and then we got Gary's response, same old, same old. And last but not least, by Crypto Reviewing, we can see a crypto review for Casper CSPR. They actually rated it an 8.6 out of 10. By 2025, price potential could be $4.10, which would be a 100x. And let's take a look at this picture. So just thinking about it, guys, is it possible? Yes, 100%. I wouldn't own Casper if I didn't believe in insanely high potential. If Casper approached even the all-time high market cap of Cardano, and Cardano's supply at the time was roughly 3 times larger than Casper's supply today, which is huge. We could also add a multiplier effect to that, but then the price of Casper, if it simply reached that previous high of Cardano, With that same market cap, when Bitcoin was close to an all-time high during hype, a lot of speculation, but a lot more volume in the crypto market. Instead of being $3 like Cardano, Casper would be $7 or $9 plus with that type of market cap. Now I know a lot of people don't care about market cap or predictions and comparing that, but you have to speculate to make money long term. So if you think $7 is too good to be true, I personally don't, but that would take time. Now do I believe Casper with actual adoption and success can reach $1 or $5 plus? Yes, I do. And if you think that's crazy, it is not. If you go back to the previous bull run and look at the top 50 projects, some of these alts had a $50 billion or a $20 billion market cap. And this is without utility at scale. And what about when you consider the total stake bonded, 75% of the total supply actually deducted from the current supply? And what that means is there's actually far less Casper in circulation than we think. And of course, we have yet to even be listed on Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, Binance US. And all of those exchanges would also buy up Casper. And now we have Google Cloud, we have additional partners coming, more Fortune 100s. What's going to happen? If they're using Casper, they're most likely going to run a validator. That way they're earning some Casper, but also validating and securing the network. And of course, any organizations want to earn Casper if they're running dApps on top of the platform to cover gas fees. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.